Hi, I'm Amanda, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you some of the best mortgage comparison websites. So there are several websites out there that can help you compare mortgages and kind of get an idea of which lenders are out there and may be the best for your situation. So when you're looking for a site that you can use to kind of research mortgages and the different lenders, what you really need to look for are a few things. You really want something that has a lot of filters available, because what you'll usually see on these sites, and I'll show you in a second, but there's like a long list of lenders that are available to look at. So then you can narrow down the list further by applying filters. So you're going to want to apply filters based off whether you're purchasing a home, whether you're looking to refinance an existing mortgage. Sometimes there are filters for home equity loans, VA loans if you're a veteran, and FHA loans if you qualify. So you can use those filters to kind of narrow it down. And then you can also filter based off of the loan amount, and also like your credit score is another thing that you can filter for, because not all lenders will be appropriate for your situation depending on your credit situation. So those are kind of the things you want to look at. So filters are that's kind of the number one, because it kind of helps you narrow down the choices. You also want a site that ideally rates and reviews each lender. So they will usually like write their own review of it. Like the editorial team will do their research and review it based off of like its features and customer feedback. So you want that, and then they'll usually give it a score out of out of 5 or out of 10 as well. So they'll give an overall score too. So you kind of want to look at that. And then, sometimes there will also be other information on these websites, like articles you can read to kind of learn more about mortgages in general. Educational resources are out there too. So that's kind of a quick look at kind of how these sites work. So I'm going to show you some of the top sites that are out there. The first one I'll show you is BestMoney. So BestMoney can help you compare many different kinds of financial products, like credit cards, insurance, banking, and loans are also one of those. So mortgages specifically. So you can click here, and as you'll see, there are filters right away. You can filter based off of whether you're purchasing, refinancing an existing mortgage, if you're looking for home equity loans. Filter based off your credit score, whether it's poor, fair, good, or excellent, and then also the loan amount as well. And then you can choose when you're planning to close also. So when you do that, you will get a list that kind of fits your situation. So if you change up the filters, you could get kind of different answers here. You get a different list of results. So that's how kind of the filters work on BestMoney. And so this site does assign a score. They do it out of a score of 10. So they incorporate like the Trustpilot score and also brand reputation score that they give it. And so then what you can do is you can read reviews. They have this section that they have detailed reviews on several different vendors. You can click there and kind of get an overview, get a look at the application process, kind of the different features that each lender offers. So I would definitely recommend reading through the reviews to kind of get a look at how each lender performs, and kind of, just kind of see what some of the stuff is that you'll be looking at. And then they also do have an article library. So you can read through this to kind of see, really just to get educated on mortgages in general. They have a lot of information here, so you can take a look at these articles if you want and do that. But that's kind of how BestMoney works. The number of filters they have, it isn't like a ton, but it does help you out, and it doesn't overwhelm you with information. The next site I want to show you is findmortgages.com. This site is a little different from the others I'll show you, because it is specifically dedicated to mortgages. The other sites kind of talk about different financial products too, but this one is mortgages only. So they do have filters based off the loan amount and the credit score. And then at the top you will choose whether you're looking to purchase, refinance an existing loan, if you're looking at home equity loans, VA loans, Yeah, they didn't really talk about VA loans on BestMoney, but they have that here. So if that applies to you, that's good to know. And then they do give reviews here out of 10, incorporating a Trustpilot, trust score, and then also a value score that they developed. And then, so you can click on the reviews section to get a look at like the full review for each of these lenders. So they did write reviews for each one. So it starts out with pros and cons, and then it kind of goes through the features and just kind of a general look at it. And then they also do have articles as well, similar to BestMoney, just kind of some educational information about mortgages in general. So that's kind of how Find Mortgages works. Next, I'll show you Bankrate. So Bankrate is a great site for comparing a lot of different financial products. They also do have a lot of just general educational information for personal finance topics also. But when you're comparing lenders, what you will see is this screen really. So you'll find that at the top under mortgages. So first you'll choose your mortgage type if you're purchasing or refinancing. So when you choose that, then you can type in your zip code, purchase price, the down payment, credit score, the loan term, whether you want to show FHA loans, VA loans, and then they have additional filters here for the debt to income ratio, and things like that. So they really do have an extensive filtering system, which can look maybe kind of overwhelming at first, but this is really a good option to use if you have kind of a good idea of what you're looking at and you want to put in all those specifics. So it is a good choice as far as that goes. So they do have, one thing on Bankrate is they do have consumer reviews also. So they do have kind of overall details on the different companies, consumer reviews. So you can read through this and kind of get an idea of what like real world feedback is looking like for each lender. So I'd recommend doing that also. So that's kind of what you're looking at there. Yeah, and then they do have a lot of different information up here, like educational information, how to get a mortgage, different calculators that you can look at, mortgage news, and then, yeah, like I said, they don't only have the consumer reviews, like I did want to highlight that, but they do also have like Bankrate reviews that are out of 5 stars, so that's kind of the editorial team's reviews. So when you click to read the review, you will see, yeah, really kind of an overview of the Bankrate score, the customer rating, and then kind of an in-depth look at the lender. So I'd recommend doing that. The last site I wanted to show you is NerdWallet. It is pretty similar to Bankrate in a lot of ways because it covers a lot of different financial products. And so you can use it to compare different products and also to learn more. So I will show you kind of how their mortgage comparison works. So it is similar to the other sites. You will choose whether you're purchasing, refinancing, or looking for a home equity loan. And then you can get specific with it. Put in your credit score, zip code, purchase price, down payment, the loan term, and then they also have additional filters like the property type, property use, FHA loan eligibility, and then also you can choose whether or not you're a veteran and want to look at VA loan options. So that's how you kind of filter down the list there. And then as you see here, when you hit show details, you can kind of see a quick look here. They kind of sum it up what we like, what we don't like. And they do score each, they do assign scores out of 5 stars. And then you can read a full review also if you want for each lender. So yeah, they really do have an in-depth review for each one, so you can kind of take a look at that if you want. And then also you can use their site to kind of learn more about mortgages in general. They do have a lot of information about buying a home, home ownership, also different calculators related to mortgages. So I'd recommend taking a look at that also. So yeah, for all of these websites, I would totally recommend looking through them all, really. And yeah, you can use them to kind of apply filters based off your situation and take a look at lenders that are maybe appropriate for your needs. I would definitely recommend looking at multiple websites when you're researching lenders for your mortgage, because you really want to make sure you get a well-rounded view of things. Something I would totally do also is compare the reviews across sites. So see what each site, what their site's teams thought of everything. So totally recommend that. And then also looking at real world feedback, also customer ratings. That's another thing I would recommend. So I hope you found this helpful. Thank you.